What's up, everybody? It's your boys Cam and T back at it again with another episode of the Cam and T podcast. If you like this type of content, man, go ahead and go follow us on YouTube. Go follow us on Twitch. Go follow us on Twitter. We everywhere, man. I am your co-host Tony T. Tom West, and we have my brother from another mother, Cam. Happy podcast day, brother. How are you doing?
Happy Pod Day, man. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm glad we fixed the issue, and I'm glad we here, man.
Yeah, crazy, y'all. So what took us so long? Let me explain this real quick because it's my fault. What took us so long is that my mic on Google Chrome was not working at all. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And it hadn't been working for weeks. So we kept trying, never worked. I don't know why it finally clicked in my mind. Let me go try a different browser. Tried Microsoft Edge, it worked immediately. So I guess that's what it was. So I'm about to delete Chrome off my stuff tonight because I'm like, yeah, they don't piss me off at this point.
Yeah.
We just spent 20 minutes doing that, and something finally locked in on me to say, hey, Tony, go check another browser. And I'm glad I did that. So, but we live tonight, man. Tonight gonna be a good show, bro. Glad to be back with y'all. Sorry that we couldn't get on here Tuesday. My job held me up and stuff like that. But we back live today. And we got a good show for y'all, man. We got Pacers and OKC. Cam, I think this is a little bit competitive than what me and you thought. So this thing's been pretty competitive. We'll talk about that a little bit. The Pacers are up as of last night, 2-1. We'll talk about that. Ring culture in sports, period. Is it ruining things? Does this make people, how does it affecting people's legacy long term? We're going to talk about that type of stuff tonight. EA college football is less than a month from coming out, and we have not heard really anything. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, too, at the end, because EA got a lot of explaining to do. So pretty good show in store with us tonight, but I cannot start this podcast off without talking about the situation going on in one of my favorite cities in the country. Y'all already know, in LA, with the protests and the immigrants and all that. Again, like, prayers up to everybody that's being affected, being torn away from their families, and all that. Just prayers to everybody being affected by, the decisions that are being made within this administration. Just prayers to everybody. I'm not really a political person, so I don't really get into this person's this and this person is fascist, and I don't do all that. That ain't my realm of expertise. So I'm not gonna get up here and act like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to politics and stuff like that. Again, just prayers up to everybody that's being affected. And me and you were kind of talking about it off camera, and we feel comfortable talking about it on camera. We were kind of saying, us as just regular human beings, and I don't know how y'all may feel in the comments, but like me and Cam was just saying, I'm pretty sure Cam feels comfortable with me saying this. We don't really care about like illegal immigrants being here. Like, as long as they're not like causing harm or danger, like, I don't really, you feel me? Like, I don't know. And maybe again, this might be my ignorance. So if I'm just being ignorant to the whole conversation, that's fine. I will admit I'm a very knowledgeable person. I will be the first one to admit when I don't know nothing, I don't talk about it like that because I don't know it. That's why I'm asking, what's the big hoopla? So Cam, I know you want to kind of reach out and talk about it a little bit too, but I just wanted to say that, just prayers up to everybody that's being affected by the ICE raids and all that.
Yeah, man. We steer clear of politics, for the most part, but
yeah.
It is, crazy what's going on and everything. And I'm with you, I'm the same way. It's like, I don't care, if you hear, man, like,
Right.
You ain't bothering me. I'm more worried. It's a lot of people that's citizens that's quote unquote legal here that are more dangerous than a lot of people that are here illegally. You feel me?
Correct.
I mean, we ain't got to sit here and pretend. I mean, every people, it don't matter what you look like. It don't matter where you from. It don't matter, your status being here in the United States. People are just people at the end of the day, man. And
right.
The United States has always prided itself on being a melting pot of a bunch of different cultures. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy with this current administration. They targeting a lot of people that look like us, but I've also people, also people, brown people, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
people of color. So it's just, it really is crazy, man, to see what's going on. And like you said, families being ripped apart, man. I seen this man, he was crying earlier because his wife had got seized, essentially got arrested. And again, it's just it's real sick, bro. I mean, it's, and they ain't, like you said, they ain't causing nobody no harm. They ain't bothering me not one bit. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say that they take jobs. What jobs? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't get that either, because like, not again, I'm ignorant to this conversation. So again, I'm gonna preface that every time I say it. I don't get when people say like, oh, they're stealing jobs. I don't know about you. And again, if I'm ignorant to the situation, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to have a conversation. But on every job I had to go to, I had to give up social security numbers, all that type of stuff.
Exactly.
So what jobs are they stealing? Because they ain't got none of that.
Exactly.
Like, that's why I'm not trying to be rude. Again, that's why I don't really get when people like, oh, illegal immigrants. Oh my God. Like, I don't get it. I want somebody to educate me, and I'm gonna work on educating myself on why it's such a big deal. Because to me, as long as they ain't harming nobody, I don't really care, to be honest. At least me as a person, as a civilian, as a law-abiding citizen that pays taxes, I don't care. They risk their life to come over here, and they don't even get half the benefits that we get.
Right.
And they get a chance of getting deported back to the crib. Right. So I don't know. Again, I'm not on no poli-sci major or nothing like that, but I did want to just speak on that real quickly, because I know LA is a city I love, and a city that's kind of just taking me in every time I went out there. Mexicans, Hispanics, Latino descent have been nothing but sweethearts to me out there. Always. They have been the nicest people when I go out there to LA. So I got to show my brothers and sisters that are brown some love, because they've been nothing but respectful and nice to me every time I've gone out there. I just wanted to say that real quick and just talk about that real quick, and just prayers up to everybody out there. Hope everybody's staying safe. And yeah, that's pretty much that. But let's jump into some fun stuff now. Let's talk about the NBA Finals. The Pacers, Cam, they're up 2-1. Your boy, Halliburton, your favorite player in the league.
the Halliburton, boy. Halliburton.
How you feeling about the series? How you feeling about the Pacers, man?
Al Qaeda. That's what they calling them. The Halliburton.
That's crazy, bro.
Halliburton, boy. Look, man. Man, it's been an interesting series, man. I know me and you talked about it a little bit off camera, that I didn't watch game 2, and you said you didn't watch the most recent game 3, but ultimately, I think this series has been a little bit closer than what both me and you expected. I don't remember what you said, but I know I had Thunder in 5, and now I'm thinking, Thunder in 7. I still got the Thunder in the series.
Okay, so you still got Thunder. Okay.
Yeah, I still got the Thunder in the series, but I'm thinking Thunder in 7 at this point, though. The Pacers are honestly they've shown me a couple of things. Number one, somebody asked it earlier. They were like, I don't understand how the Pacers are this good, but I can tell you why they're this good. It's because they play fundamental basketball.
They do.
You feel me? In my opinion, they're built not unlike the Spurs of old. You feel me?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, Tim Duncan, he's one of the greatest of all time, of course. Manu is a Hall of Famer. Tony Parker is a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? They got legends and everything. But what I mean by that is they got a bunch of guys that play well together more than anything. And that's really all that matters. They just got a bunch of guys that bought into the system. Nobody got an ego. You know what I'm saying? Nobody considers themselves to be the best player on the team. You feel me?
Correct.
When you look at the Thunder side of things, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, because I still think they're going to win the series. But when you look at the Thunder side of things, they all fall in line behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You feel me? And that's the difference between the two teams. See, when it comes to the Pacers, Halliburton might be their leader because he's their point guard. But when you really boil it down to it, you know what I'm saying, he hasn't really been their best player this playoffs. It's been Pascal Siakam.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? but you got guys like Benny Mathurin had a great game last night. You got TJ McConnell who gave them a lot off the bench. You got guys like Neesmith and Nembhard that have been really good. Miles Turner has been really good. I mean, the list goes on, and the Pacers are really deep. And they everybody has bought in, and everybody can play fundamental basketball. And so that's why the Pacers are as good as they are. And I think it's good, to be honest, for the league, because it shows, number one, that you don't necessarily have to have a super team to win, you know what I'm saying, to be successful, right? You can just be a well-built, a well-oiled machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I seen a stat too that Halliburton, he hasn't even taken a free throw yet in these finals. It's been 3 games and he hasn't taken out one free throw. So
I'm not trying to cut you off either. I feel like that's another thing with Halliburton. I feel like he hasn't been aggressive either until like the fourth quarter. But go ahead, get back into your point. My bad.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he ain't really had the man. They up 2-1, and you know they got other guys on the roster that are just giving them what they need. You know, he's been, I mean, Halliburton, he just been facilitating, and when it's clutch time, then that's his time. But for the rest of the game, you know, he's playing his game, and he's allowing everybody else to play their game. See, the thing about Halliburton, he was never gonna get you 30 points a game. That's not his game. Right. He's gonna get you a smooth 18 to 20. Or he gonna get you a clutch bucket, because that's what he's been doing all season long. That's what he's been, you know, for his whole career in Indiana. So, that's the thing about this Pacers team. They just well built. And as far as the Thunder go, honestly, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if they're just being out coached. I don't know if they feel like they're not ready for the moment. I don't know if they too young or what, but the Thunder, you won 68 games in the regular season. You're supposed to be blowing this team out. I mean, really, it should have been, you know what I'm saying? You should be up 2-1 right now. You should be up 2-1 or 3-0, something like that. You know, I mean, they just, that's the thing about the Thunder. It's like they're wishy-washy. Sometimes I feel like, because I knew what was going to happen once the Pacers won game 1. I was like, the Thunder going to blow them out in game 2, because that's what they do.
That's what
but
they
it's
do.
Like, but now your back is against the wall, and now you on the ropes, and now game 4 is a must win in Indiana. So, you know, the Thunder, they got a lot to do. They got a lot of work to do. And somebody else needs to step up besides Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whether that's Jalen Williams, whether it's Chet Holmgren, whether they go back to the lineup. I heard them talking about it on TV earlier today, whether they go back to the lineup where they had Hartenstein in, where they go to a double big lineup. Cason Wallace hasn't been getting it done. I want to say he had like no points or something like that yesterday. But you got guys like Caruso coming off the bench. I mean, there's other guys, the other Jalen Williams, I don't even think he took a snap yesterday. But it's they got more work to do, man. The Thunder, they gotta get it together. They have to adjust at the end of the day. That's what it is. I think that comes down to coaching. I think somebody asked who coaches the Thunder, or excuse me, it's Rick Carlisle, man.
He's an amazing coach.
If you remember Rick Carlisle back with the 2011 Mavericks, you know what I'm saying, you start to see some similarities, guys that are bought in, guys that are fundamental, you know what I'm saying? So
I was going to ask you a question too, not to cut you off. I was going to ask you a question because I heard somebody say, and I kind of agree with him, if the Pacers win this championship, this might be one of the best coaching jobs we've ever seen. Because not that the Pacers are terrible, but let's be honest. Halliburton is a young star. I think this playoffs, he's starting to head towards superstardom, but he's not there yet. Just because he's having a good playoff run this year does not mean he's a superstar in this league. I still think he's on that star level. Kind of where, you remember where like Kemba Walker used to be for a long time when he was with the Hornets? He's kind of like there, but maybe like a little bit above that. So I kind of feel like that's where Halliburton is. But obviously this playoff run has been absolutely tremendous. It's took him to another level. But if they can get a championship out of this is probably the least talented team that's won a championship in like last 15 years, probably. No BS. Like this would probably be the one, bro. Like, honestly. So if they do that, it would be the most not as talented team to win one. So I think it's very possible. You know, I was with Thunder in 5. That ain't happening. And Cam, I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna call me a waffle because I'm flipping. I'm going Pacers in 7, man. This team just seems like a team of destiny, bro. Like, bro, the whole playoffs, think about it. It's just like they've been walking in line of destiny. They beat the Knicks, right? Didn't Boston get all hurt up on them? Or was that another? That was with the Knicks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who all did the Pacers play in the playoffs this year?
The Pacers, they ran through the Bucks first.
Okay, that they was already hurt up. So not a surprise.
They ran through the Bucks, then they ran through the Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers, that's who it was, who also won 60 games this year. And everybody was saying it was a juggernaut.
Yep.
They ran through the Cavs. That's who it was. I don't know why I thought Celtics. The Cavs. Then they ran through the Knicks.
And the
thing about the Pacers is they have been the best team in basketball since like February, bro. Since the All-Star break, they low-key have been the best team in basketball. Them, OKC, and Cleveland, really, to be honest. Them 3 right there, they've been the best in basketball since the All-Star break. I'll just say since the All-Star break. They've been the best 3 teams. And I think that, again, we just talked about it. Rick Carlisle has taken them to that next step. Hopefully the Pacers don't fire him if he don't win the championship, because that's how they do in the NBA now. They fire these coaches after these great accolades. So hopefully he doesn't get fired next week or 2 weeks from now. But Rick Carlisle got these guys on the right path. And I'm switching my pick, Cam. I'm going Pacers in 7, bro. They done flipped me. They done flipped me like a commitment on EA college football, brother. They done flipped me, bro. I ain't lying. I think the Pacers, bro. And I'm telling you now, if the Pacers win on Saturday, right? They play on Saturday or Friday. It's Saturday, because that's another thing. Let's talk about that real quick. I don't like this playoff format at all. I don't know about you. This 3-day break crap, I don't like. I don't like the 3-day break. I don't know how you feel about it. 2 days is enough, bro. These cities ain't nothing but a 10-hour drive away. So probably an hour and a half flight. We don't need no 3 days, bro. We should be playing this every other day, fam. That's just my personal opinion. How do you feel about the format on that?
They play so this game they actually play on Friday. This one's actually just
okay, so they do play tomorrow. Okay, good.
But so for me, I actually prefer, I say, so for me, the early rounds, I say you play every other day. Mm-hmm. But when you get to the finals, you got to make it, you know what I'm saying? You got to make it even, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of get why they giving them 2 days in between for rest. Now, it is crazy though, because the finals really do be lasting like 2 weeks, especially if it goes to game 7. So I get it, but the players ain't gonna go for that the 1 day in between. But I think round 1, like in my opinion, round 1, there shouldn't be no more than 1 day in between every game. Yeah, you should go Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know what I'm saying? That should be the first round. The second round, same way. The conference finals, you can start implementing an extra day of rest maybe after like game 2. You know what I'm saying? So the first 2 games, you go, let's say Wednesday, Friday, and then you don't play the next one until Monday, and then you back on Wednesday, and then you once you go back to the other place, then you go back to Saturday, and then it's you know what I'm saying, spread it out based on, essentially, if you got to travel, spread it out. But if you playing back to back, so like how they playing in Indiana, game 3 and game 4, they should be 1 day in between, because they OKC staying overnight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It should be like that. But yeah, anything more than that, you're doing too much, I think.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree 100%. Now, let's get into the premise of this show, because I think this is going to be the bulk of the show right here. Is let's talk about ring culture. I'm gonna let you kind of introduce this, because Cam texted me about this yesterday, and I said, you know what, this is an excellent subject to bring up on this podcast. So I'm gonna actually let you kind of explain your premise of this subject about ring culture in sports, period. Not just the NBA, not just the NFL, but just in sports. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Ring culture, man. Ring culture, bro. I I hate it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hate it. You know, a lot of people use rings when we're discussing sports, use
Yep.
championships when discussing sports. And I understand that, you know, championships are the ultimate goals and
Mhm.
competitors, you know, they're that's what they're looking for. But, you know, I think Giannis said it best a couple seasons ago when they asked him, did he consider his season a failure because they didn't win a championship? And this was like a year after they won the
Yeah.
championship. And, you know, I think a lot of, you know, fans, owners, you know, GMs, what have you, consider things to be a failure when you don't end the season in the championship. And I just don't agree with that. You know, I can understand, you know, if you're a team like, let's say the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been the best team in the league all year. They get to the NBA finals. Let's say they don't win it. I completely understand if they feel like, you know, their season, I wouldn't call it a failure, but I can understand if they was disappointed by this season. But that shouldn't take away from how good this team was or how good of a
Correct.
season Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that for a lot of players, you know, it's almost like they give players a pass as soon as they win one championship, right?
Yep.
And they give a lot of other players heat until they win the championship. And
Mhm.
so a name that I had, and this is the reason why I brought it up, because I think about this player all the time. He's one of my favorite players, Russell Westbrook. All
Yep.
right. I talk about Russell Westbrook all the time. And in my humble opinion, in my eyes, Russell Westbrook is a top 5 point guard of all time. And
Woo!
yeah.
Woo! Ho, ho,
No,
ho.
hold on,
Hold
hold
on
on.
now. We're gonna have
Let
to
me finish.
debate this
Let me
one.
finish.
I'm gonna have to
Let
go
me finish.
Stephen A. Smith on you
Let me
here. You
let me
think
finish.
Russ is
Let me
top
finish.
5 point guard of
Let me
all
finish.
time?
Let me finish. Yes, yes. And a lot of people see that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
See,
you
you
ain't
see
tell me
a lot
that
of
part
people,
I'm caring
a
about.
lot of people, a lot of people talk about it and they act like they confused. But when you look at the numbers and when you look at the accolades, he got everything but a championship. If he had a championship, wouldn't nobody say nothing. Because I'm gonna ask you, who got the most points by a point guard in NBA history? Who got the most points?
I'm guessing you want me to say Russ.
No, well, it's not. He's number two, but he'll be is Oscar Robinson.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook will be number two, or he'll be number one by next year. He's only like 500 points behind.
Okay, so yeah, he'll
Um,
get that by next year
Most
probably.
rebounds by a point guard is Westbrook,
Oh yeah, I'm
and
pretty
he's
sure.
top 10 all time in assists. So when you look at points, rebounds, assists, obviously he's the triple double king. He's got
Yeah.
9 All-Star
Absolutely.
games. He's a 9-time All NBA. We know what he was defensively back in his prime. I don't think there's not, in my opinion, there's not 5 point guards better than him all time.
Okay.
And but a lot of
Okay.
people would say,
Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish.
uh,
Go ahead.
but a lot of people would disagree because Westbrook don't have a ring. But once again, I have to urge you to think about it because how many point guards got an MVP?
Mm-hmm.
And then how many point guards have also led the league in both points and assists before?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta,
Yeah.
it's a lot that goes into it. So my top five, and I'm gonna let you go after this. My top five, so it's Magic, it's
Okay.
Curry,
Yep.
it's Zeke, you know, Isaiah Thomas,
Yep.
Big O, and I got Westbrook right there. And I understand a lot of people might have Stockton in there. He's all-time leader in assists and
Yep.
steals. I completely get that. Sure. I'm not mad at that. A lot of people might have Chris Paul there because he's
Yep.
obviously a point guard himself. I ain't mad at that. But again, when I look at the peak, when I look at the longevity, when I look at the impact that he's had on a lot of teams, he's top five to me. But that's why I say ring culture really be killing a lot of stuff. And he's not the only player. There's other players too. And I know
Absolutely.
you say you got a list of players, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of players in NBA history that have never won a championship, in NFL history that have never won a championship. But a lot of players write them off, or a lot of people write them off just because they don't have a championship. And you know, it really ain't fair to them or
Yeah.
to their career. So,
Mhm.
but go ahead. I know you wanted to.
Yeah. So let me get. So I don't. So with your take, I think to me, this is just me personally. I think it's two extremes. I think your extreme, I get it. I do. Let me say this first. I think to come to your defense, I think that Russell Westbrook is extremely underappreciated. I do think he is a top 10 point guard of all time. No doubt about it. That you will not get an argument out of me on. I do think he's top 10 all time. 5, kind of pushing it for me personally. It ain't got nothing to do with rings because these are the people I would put over Russell Westbrook all time at point guard. You already said most of them. I'm putting Magic at 1. I don't think nobody's questioning that. We're putting Curry at 2. Nobody's going against that, right?
Right.
At 3, me personally, this is just me. Again, you can agree to disagree. At 3, I'm probably going to put Isaiah Thomas there, in my personal opinion. At 4, again, this is for me. I'm going to put CP3. He doesn't have a ring, but I think the impact and how good he's been for how long it was, I have to put him at 4. Then at 5, in my personal opinion, it's just me. I think you got to put a dude like Steve Nash there because Nash won an MVP. He was tremendous as well. He was, again, and he didn't win no ring either as like a starter. So I would put Russ more in that like 7 to 8 range. I don't think he's like past 10 though. I would put him over Oscar Robertson. He beat all his records. So I'm putting him over Oscar Robertson, excuse me, for sure. Because he took all his records. So I'm definitely putting him over there. But it's those guys I just named, I'm sorry, I just can't put Russ over them. Like in my personal opinion. So I'm kind of in the middle. Like I can't put him in the 5 though, bro. I gotta put him in like maybe like 8, 7, somewhere in there. Anywhere between, I think 7 to 10, 11 is I would say 7 to 10. Because you're right. He is he's literally the definition of a triple-double. Like literally. He's surpassed what's called on everything. So I do agree with you on that. And then I think me and you was talking about it off camera, and this was coming from OKC fans too. They were saying if Shai Gilgeous, and this is kind of going back to this ring conversation, they were saying if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins a ring, he's already better than KD and Russ and all them. And I just don't agree with that. And me and you talked about that offline. Just because he has an MVP and a ring, I'm sorry. KD was perennially a top, 5 player the whole time he was in Oklahoma City. Maybe even top 3. And I've only seen Shai Gilgeous-Alexander be that good for 2 years now. Last year and this year. And maybe the year before that a little bit too. But more so the last 2 seasons, I've seen him be to that level. Let me see 3 or 4 more seasons of that, and then we'll have a discussion.
Right.
But I do think and I think a lot of that is scorn feelings too about KD and all that and leaving and the way he did people and all that. So I get that too. But I'm with you on this whole ring discussion. I think people do not credit people enough, or they try to take away credit from individuals because they have not won a ring. So I'm going to read off some names to you because like you said, I made a list. Literally, I was in the gym this morning. And I made a list of players that did not win a ring, at least as an impact starter or player at this time. So the first person I thought of when you brought this up, so these are players that I think are absolutely tremendous and should always be respected as anybody that's won 15 rings, 10 rings, whatever. These people I'm about to name should be right up there with these names. Dan Marino never won a ring. To me, he's a top 15 quarterback of all time, top 10 quarterback of all time. If you put him there, I would not be mad at you. I would say top 15 because we got a lot of passers now. Top 15 quarterback of all time. Larry Fitzgerald was the most reliable wide receiver you could find in the NFL, probably of all time, as far as just being reliable. It's probably him and Jerry Rice. That's it. He never won a ring. We already talked about this dude. I know he's not likable. I know a lot of people don't like him. CP3 is one of the best point guards. I just put him in my top 5. So that should tell you how I don't even like CP3 like that. But he's a top 5 player of all time. Top 5 point guard of all time in my eyes. Never won a ring. Your boy, Lamar Jackson. Now, his story is yet to be written because I put yet on here. Lamar Jackson has won 2 MVPs. Probably should have won 3. Don't lie.
Yeah.
He has never won a ring yet. He's already, to me, the greatest scrambling quarterback of all time. to me, without a question, he's no offense, I love Cam Newton. He surpassed Cam Newton. He surpassed Michael Vick. He surpassed all those scrambling quarterbacks. He surpassed them by far at this point. I'm just going to be honest. And this is coming from a Cam Newton stand. But has not won a ring. Josh Allen. Same thing. When Josh Allen's career is all said and done, it's probably going to be a top 10 quarterback of all time, bro, when it's all said and done. Now, again, he can still accomplish this. He has not won a ring yet. I don't think that should diminish him. Luke Kuechly, we got personal ties to this one. He is probably a top 3 linebacker of all time, in my personal opinion. I think it's Ray Lewis. I might would put him at 2. I'm not even BSing you right now. I might would put him at 2. I'm being so serious. It's probably Ray Lewis and then Luke Kuechly for me. And it does not diminish the fact that he's one of the GOATs. And I think he will end out his career. He's already ended out his career. And I think Kuechly will be remembered as a top 5 linebacker of all. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when time comes, if they don't criticize him on only playing 8 or 9 years.
Second ballot. He missed it last year.
Oh, that's right. So he should have been first ballot. It's crazy.
Yeah, second ballot. He'll be a finalist though. They already said he's a finalist.
Yeah,
so
he needs to be.
He
probably
should have
been
been
in last year.
Yeah,
because Willis got in too on second ballot. So I'm guessing they're gonna do the same thing for him.
Yeah.
I got another personal tie for us. Bryce Young in college never won a ring as a starter. He did as a backup behind Mac Jones, but we talked about this last week. Bryce Young is probably the best Alabama quarterback of all time.
Ever. Yep.
To be honest. I don't know if we got any Bama fans in the chat, and if there is, please get in there. But talent-wise, he's probably the best of all time. Yep. Never won a ring. Never won a ring at Bama. This is a controversial one I'm about to say. He did take steroids, but he was good before the steroids too. Barry Bonds never won a ring. So I just named off like 7 or 8 names just right here that
I got more.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't won rings, but they should still be viewed as GOATs, and they should be viewed highly. So you feel me? I'm just kind of piggybacking off what you're saying. Pretty much what I'm saying is I 100% agree with you, man. Like it shouldn't just be, you feel me? Like it shouldn't just be, hey, you ain't win a ring, so you can't be a GOAT or you can't be legendary. No, we're not doing that.
Let me give you a couple more names.
Yeah.
All right. Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
We already know Sir Charles. Sir Charles, top 5 power forward ever. You know what I'm saying? Top 20 player ever, arguably. Sir Charles.
I don't disagree with that.
But a lot of people, Shaq be giving him, a lot of hell for not winning the championship, Mm-hmm. And I get it, they brothers or whatever, but it's just stuff like that. Allen Iverson is another name. Allen Iverson, a lot of people that slipped him down in their rankings. AI is another guy. He wins a championship. Who knows what they be talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Another NBA name. You know what I'm saying? I know you might not care for this dude, but James Harden is another dude that a lot of people really don't understand, what James Harden got going on. When we're talking about offensive force, James Harden got to be a top 5 scorer in NBA history.
You took the words out of my mouth, bro. I was literally about to say offensively. I don't think there's many people rocking. I don't think there's many people fucking with
it ain't, man.
I don't think there's that many people messing with James Harden offensively. All time. I'm talking all time.
Yeah.
In his prime, I don't think there's a lot of people rocking. I don't think there's nobody rocking with him like that.
He averaged 36 a game at one season, bro.
Tremendous.
Another player. I mean, he's another player that both led the league in points and assists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's unheard of, man. Carmelo Anthony is another name as well.
Somebody just brought up Carmelo Anthony, John Stockton, Paul George. Paul George is another good one. Reggie Miller is another good one as well.
I mean, these are all legends. You know what I'm saying? And then looking at college, Baker Mayfield is another one for me. A lot of people, really a lot of people overhype Baker Mayfield sometimes, but I mean, we can't.
In college, he was like that though at Oklahoma. I ain't lying.
We can't excuse the fact, he didn't win no championship, but he was great though. He was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's a lot of players, and that's why I think this ring culture talk is really nuts, because you look at a guy like Robert Ory. He got like five. He got like five,
6 rings.
Oh, he got 7. Excuse me. He got 7.
What's that dude that used to follow LeBron James around everywhere?
James
what was his
Jones.
name? James Jones. Yep.
James Jones.
He got like 4 rings.
He went to 8 straight finals with LeBron. He was in all of them. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that really, like, a lot of people don't be thinking about what they saying. Oh, he got this many championships. He got that many championships. If championships was the only barometer, it would be a lot of players in NBA history, NFL history, that wouldn't be thought about.
Yep.
You brought up Dan Marino earlier, and that's one thing I wanted to say. Yep. Dan Marino was in a time where the championships didn't even really matter like that. So that's why a lot of people still got Dan Marino top 6, 7 all time. But if Dan Marino was playing today, he wouldn't. They wouldn't give him his credit like that. You know what I'm saying?
They wouldn't. No.
They wouldn't give him They wouldn't give him that love and credit.
No.
That's the type of stuff I be talking about. It's like a lot of people act like winning the championship is the most important thing. There's never been one player in any professional sport, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's never been a player in any professional sport that has won a championship in every single year that they played the game. No. There's never been one. And there might be somebody who might have played one season and just got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who was riding the bench for the Chiefs 1 year or something like that and never played again. But there's never been no primary player, no impact player that has won a championship in every single season. No. So if we're going by the metric of championships, everybody's a failure. If we're going by that metric. A lot of people talk about the GOAT debate. They say Michael Jordan got 6 rings versus LeBron's 4. And I can understand that being like, I can understand if you in your GOAT debate, if you're saying everything is equal and you're saying, but Mike got 2 more rings over Bron, I get that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I completely understand something like that. But if you're saying that LeBron ain't even top 10 all time because he ain't got as many rings as Michael Jordan, you lost your damn mind.
It's crazy.
Like, that's the type of stuff that really be making my ass itch when people be talking about rings. It's like, it's really not the most, it's not all that matters, bro. Like, they play in the NFL, they play 17 games, bro. Like, why is you judging somebody based off of four games in the playoffs, 3 or 4 games in the playoffs? And I actually got another name for you that a lot of people don't be talking about. They somehow all of a sudden the rings go out the window. All of a sudden the Super Bowl appearances go out the window. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts got 2 elite Super Bowl performances, but all of a sudden I be seeing lists that don't even have him as a top 10 quarterback.
It's crazy.
Somebody make it make sense, bro.
Yeah.
He got exactly what you want. He finished second in MVP voting in like 2021 or something like that. He's got finals MVP. The year that he lost, or not finals, Super Bowl MVP, the year that he lost the Super Bowl, probably still could have won Super Bowl MVP. But for some reason, a lot of people act like it don't matter now. All of a sudden, it don't make sense. Yeah, that's the type of stuff. The ring culture stuff, it just don't vibe with me, bro. You feel me? It don't sit right with me. It don't make sense. It don't make sense to me.
Yep. No, I agree, bro. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, bro. I can't even, like I said, when we brought this up, I said, man, this is a really good topic.
Let me ask you this, matter of fact.
Go ahead.
Since we talking about, I'm gonna compare some players. I'm gonna ask you who you think is better all the time. Okay. So I'm gonna do a player without a ring and a player with a ring. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So the guy I just named, Jalen Hurts, all right, versus Cam Newton. Who's better all the time?
I'd probably say Cam. Cam's I think a little better than Jalen Hurts, because Cam perennially was always, they kind of in that same, because I feel like Cam was perennially like between 7, besides 2015 when he was the best player in football, he was always around like 7 to 12. But I think Cam is a better quarterback overall than Jalen Hurts, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think Cam did a lot. I think Cam, obviously, when it comes to the talent perspective, he's one of one. I mean, there's really nobody.
Yeah.
Might be 2-3 quarterbacks in NFL history that can even be in that conversation with him. But I think I think when you boil it down to it, you got to look at the stats, you got to look at the records, you got to look at the accolades. Cam Newton's still sitting at the top on a lot of lists when it comes to the record book. So until Hurts breaks some of those records, or until Josh Allen breaks some of those records, I'm gonna still take Cam over the guys like that. I got another name for you. When we're talking about the NBA, okay. Let's talk about this year, right? Shai Gilgeous or Tyrese Halliburton, whoever wins the championship, versus a guy like Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Who you got? Who better all time?
It's Russ and Chris Paul.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's I'm trying to find players that are even in a similar caliber, because sometimes like Cam and Matthew Stafford used to get compared all the time.
Yeah.
Now I think we're at a point now where Matthew Stafford kind of got the leg up, but for a minute there, you know what I'm saying, they was kind of on the same level.
All in that same little 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
Right. So I just think, just the ring discussion, man, as a whole, it kind of, and another thing too, I think sometimes winning one championship, it absolves you for the rest of your career. Because I'm looking at a guy like Aaron Rodgers. We really need to have a discussion about him. Even though he's an all-time great quarterback, a lot of people don't give him the heat that he probably needs, because he got a championship 15 years ago or something like that now. You know what I mean?
He got a ring.
He got a championship, but a lot of people absolve him from what happened in the last couple of years with the Packers and what happened this past season with the Jets, and what's gonna happen this season, upcoming season with the Steelers. Yeah, a lot of people absolve him because he won a championship all these years ago, but at the end of the day, man, it's not. He ain't really been. At some point, the common denominator is you, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. At some point, like, you got to stop pointing fingers. I understand that the Packers never drafted a wide receiver in the first round when you was there. I understand that, there was some questionable calls that didn't go your way, or the coach might have had a brain fart or whatever. But at some point, you being before Patrick Mahomes, everybody considers you to be the most talented quarterback in NFL history. At some point, your talent was supposed to overcome all of that. Correct. Patrick's talent has overcome that. How many rings he got? 3, 4? 3. Patrick's talent has overcame that 3 times, and he's played half the seasons you have.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, the blame got to go towards you. So that's another thing that I think when it comes to this ring culture stuff. I think a lot of people say, well, he got a championship, he's good for the rest of his career. No, bruh. No. You got to keep that same energy. If he got if somebody,
a lot of people consider talent-wise, I'm not saying accolades, talent-wise, a lot of people say him and Mahomes is on their own planet as far as arm talent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some people say those are the 2 most talented quarterbacks they've ever seen.
Yeah. And I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Too.
I would, in my opinion, the top 5 most talented: Mahomes, Rodgers, Jackson, Allen, Newton. That's the top 5 for me. Them the 5 dudes. They don't have not one weakness. That's
probably my top 5 as well. Yeah.
When it comes to talent, because they can literally do everything. Everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, but besides that, I just think it's crazy how, like I said, a guy like him, he gets a pass, but other guys who have been just as good, you know what I'm saying, or if not better, like a Josh Allen has been better than him the last 5 seasons probably.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And Josh don't get the heat that he probably need, to be honest with you. But at the same time, when it comes to either him or Rodgers, everybody gonna say Rodgers.
Yeah,
Allen ain't got a championship, but I don't think that's really the case though.
I think when it's all said and done, Josh Allen gonna be no surpassed Aaron Rodgers. Even with no ring, if he keep on the pace he's going, I would probably put it, because what Josh Allen has been able to do like the last 4 years is pretty impressive, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
When you look at the turnovers down, is pretty impressive.
When you look at the record books, at the end of his career, I guarantee you he probably gonna be he might not be number one in passing touchdowns, but he'll be top 5. I guarantee you he'll be top 5
I can
in
see
passing
that.
touchdowns. And I
I
know
can see
for a
that.
fact he'll be number one in rushing touchdowns.
Rushing, yeah, I was about to say, I definitely can see that.
He definitely gonna be. He actually be number one after this season. Based off the last couple years he's had, he'll be number one, which is crazy. But I mean, the record books, he gonna be all over the record book. So I think a lot of people. I think when you look at players' legacies, and when you look at what they've done, you got to look at number one. You got to look at what they mean to their team.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you got to look at what they mean to the NFL record books, to the history of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And championships don't always tell the whole story. You know what I mean? So that's why a guy like, and we can move on after this. That's why a guy like Michael Vick, Michael Vick still has a lot of support and a lot of fans around the NFL because he meant a lot. He had the impact. He never won a championship. You know what I'm saying? Never won MVP. But Vic had the impact, and Vic was in the record books. You know what I'm saying? For a long time too. So that's why a lot of times, like, we can't write off quarterbacks for not winning, or players in general in any sport for not winning a championship. Look at the whole body of work. The whole body of work. Don't discount the MVPs. Don't discount the All-Star, Pro Bowl appearances. Don't discount the All-NBA, All Pro teams. Don't discount none of that just because they don't have a championship that took 12 other players to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
23 other players to get.
I agree, man. I agree with you 100% on that, for real. But yeah, I agree. I think ring culture has ruined a lot of just sports talk, period. Because now it seems like that's all everybody is infatuated with, is how many rings this person got. So I'm with you 100% on that one, man. You ain't gonna get no argument out of me. Let's transition of the day. Cam, EA College Football is coming out. Early release, I think, is July the 7th, and I think the game actually releases July the 10th, which is like less than a month, and we have heard nothing. It's been radio silent besides a trailer 2 weeks ago. They were saying they were going to do deep dives. I don't know where those deep dives are at, but EA has done a terrible job again for the second year in a row marketing this thing. And this year it's been worse. You would think after coming off the big year that they just had, I mean, EA College Football, I think, was the highest selling sports game this past year, if I'm not mistaken.
Ever. It's the highest
sports
in US history.
Yeah, ever. And the lack of content that we are seeing within a month of the release, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of got me a little worried. Cause why y'all hiding? Like, they did put out some beta release stuff, but that's the beta. I ain't really trying to. Let's see the finished product, brother. The game about to be supposed to be out in 4 weeks. We need to see the finished product, bro. I don't understand what EA is doing. And I kind of hate when they just dump all this information on us at once, which is what they're going to do probably for the next couple of weeks. It's just dump. And they're going to do the same thing for Madden too. They're going to dump. And I almost wonder, Cam, now that I'm thinking about it, EA's fucking genius. I just had Epiphany online, right on this YouTube. You know what EA is trying to do?
What's that?
They're going to wait till the last second before them pre-orders cut off, which I think for college football, the pre-orders cut off. No, because they cut off tomorrow. The 15th, I think, is the last day you can get the pre-orders. But what I was going to say is what I think EA is trying to do, they're trying to dump everything on you at once, get you all hyped up. You go buy the game, and in the game, especially for Madden, EA College Football actually was really good. But for Madden mainly, I think they dump all this information on you right before the game comes out to get you all hyped so you can go buy it, and then the game's crap. That's what I think they do.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing. But I guess my thing is, like, why are we – dude, we're less than a month away from the game coming out. We have not heard anything.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Somebody in the comments said EA pulling the all-nighter.
I don't know, bro. I really don't. We can complain about EA marketing the game because it's valid. Put it back.
Okay, I got you.
But we know it's gonna be better than last year's game. Man, we don't know, bro. That's the thing. We hope. You know, they claim that they've been working on it, and a lot of the beta testers have been saying that it's better, but they trying to. I think, like you said, T. I think. Well, one thing I will say too. I heard in gaming, there's become a shift to essentially slow down marketing.
I see that
because nowadays games are more what's the word I'm looking for? More worried about the game after it releases than before. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so Rockstar CEO actually Take-Two CEO, matter of fact, he actually came out and said that when it comes to GTA 6, he said that we're not actually as interested in marketing the game before it comes out.
They don't need to market that game though,
as we are after it, because essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to expand the life of the game. You know what I mean? Day one sales is cool and all, but you know, but that's just one day. We're looking at, you know, the next 10 years after the fact, right? And so when it comes to EA College Football, and this is different because it's a yearly release, but at the same time, you have to, I think what they're really trying to do, like you said, they're going to give it to you closer to the launch of the game, and they're going to say, but here's our roadmap. This is what we're planning to do once after the game comes out. You know what I mean? These are the updates that we're going to make. These are the, you know, whatever, right? Yeah. So, but like AB said, you know, one thing that's really been underrated about the game is they're not really talking about. There's a lot that they've added to the game, bro.
Yeah.
Let me see what he said. Let's put ourselves in this position. Why would we market the game like that if we were the creators? Or would we leave the fans wanting more like they are now? That's another thing, man. That's the hype, bro. Point. That's the hype, man. It's the hype. You know, a lot of people, like, some people on the timeline don't even play games, but they hear me talking about certain games. I'm like, bro, where is this game? Where is that game? And then they messaging me, or they're responding to me, and they're saying the name of the game. You see what I'm saying?
So it's getting more traction.
Now it's getting more traction. You feel me? You see? So that's one thing. That's a good point there, AB. You know what I'm saying? You get people hungry, you know. Now
I'm starving. I'm starving for content. I ain't lying.
You get people hungry and starving like that, you know what I'm saying? And now they get real angsty, you know.
Yeah.
The trick is though, you don't want to do it too much, and you don't want to do it too far in advance, because there's certain games, like, you know, everybody that knows me knows, and I'm still waiting on that Wolverine game to come out. They announced that game 5 years ago, bro. We ain't heard nothing since. We ain't heard nothing since. Elder Scrolls, I ain't even realized this, but the Elder Scrolls 6 got announced 7 years ago. We ain't heard nothing since. 7 years, bro. Like, think about that. Think about how long people be waiting for certain games, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, and but it's stuff like that. The hype gets too big, and see, once your game comes out, there's nothing that it can do to accomplish, to satisfy those people. You feel me?
Yeah.
GTA is a little bit different, because GTA, we already know that's supposed to be one of the greatest games of all time.
Oh,
we already
know.
know.
GTA don't even got to do no marketing, bro. They literally can just say, they can literally drop their game on a random Tuesday, and that thing going.
That's a little different.
That thing going up, bro. They ain't got to post nothing. I ain't
That's
lying.
a little different. They're proof to all of this. You know what I'm saying?
GTA, we're talking about potentially probably the greatest gaming like series of all time, probably. They don't. Yeah, but this don't pertain to GTA.
Right. But a lot of these other games, man, like it's really crazy how long, you know, gamers have to wait. And I understand it too, because, you know, development is costly, and, you know, you really want to make sure the game launches, you know, in a good state and everything. But, you know, at the same time, like you said, you've already told us the release date for college football.
Yeah.
You've already told us that, you know, you've made a lot of additions and a lot of changes. You've already let people play the game.
Yeah.
There's no reason why, you know, we're waiting.
And we a month. I can understand we 3 months out. I'd be like, all right, that's cool. We less than a month. Like,
wait, man.
That's my issue with it. If it was 2 months ago, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they cool. Like, I wasn't complaining about them being quiet a month ago, 2 months ago. Now I'm like, okay, bro, we less than 30 days away from the game. And
Yeah,
y'all ain't told us nothing.
It's time.
Like, it's time to start dropping stuff, bro. But last thing before we log out, because matter of fact, I'll talk to you off air too a little bit. GTA is getting another big DLC next week. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was gonna talk to you about it.
You know what that means.
Yeah.
This GTA 6 is 100% getting pushed back another 6.
No. I would.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be December of 2026, bro.
No.
I see them tell us, oh yeah, we're dropping a new DLC. We're gonna be able to buy. I said, oh yeah, we ain't getting GTA 6 to 2027.
No, bro, that ain't what. No, man, no. I heard this one was supposed to be a little bit weaker though. Actually,
I heard them saying something. He's supposed to be able to buy businesses and buy like a car wash or something like that. I don't know, but I just got a feeling GTA 6 is 100. Like people are saying, oh, we got till May of next year. I'm like, brother, it's gonna be fall at the earliest.
It's gonna be fall. It's gonna be fall. It ain't 2027 though. No, bro.
I ain't trusting Rockstar, man, until I see it. Well, listen, y'all. We appreciate y'all love and support, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Obviously, we get into the summer months, so and we'll talk about plans going forward. But it's about to be football time. I'm not gonna lie. After this finals is over, we getting back into fully getting ready for college football, getting ready for the NFL. We might take a few weeks off in June. I don't know. We might take a few weeks off in June and maybe pick it back up after July 4th. I don't know. I'll talk to Cam about it. But yeah, it's about to be fully football time, guys. So we'll be back on that. But next week we'll still wrap up and talk about the finals, stuff like that. But we appreciate y'all love and support, most importantly, more than anything, man. So thank y'all. We appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. Cam, you got anything?
Nah, man. Once again, appreciate y'all for everything. You know what I'm saying? Stay locked in with us. Tell your friends. Hey, man, one thing I do want everybody retweet the link and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big thing. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in every week.
And getting the comment section and being interactive as well, man.
Yeah, thank you for all of that. But I'm asking too, if y'all could please retweet, when we say we're about to go live, give us a retweet, you know what I'm saying? Give us a like. So that way it can just get to people's algorithm too.
Algorithm, absolutely.
So that way we can get more people in here every week.
Absolutely.
But other than that, man, thank y'all for everything that y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really are a great audience, man. We appreciate y'all for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Everything Cam said, I'm 100% with. Well, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and end it out for the night. Appreciate y'all love and support. We will holler at y'all on the next one. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week and stay safe.